Welcome YouTube, this is Comic Book Aficionados. You got IBM,
the GOAT,
Mason AJ.
We're here to talk about Fables made by Vertigo Comics. And how do you feel on it? How do you feel on it?
It's a long running book. It started in 2002. It's still going to this day. It was written and drawn by Bill Willingham.
Yeah, Willingham.
Willingham. And it's still dope.
Yeah,
I feel like
you're dealing with a great piece of source material, and if there's any proof of that, you go by the fact that a TV show has unofficially come off of this. In fact, if you're a Once Upon a Time fan on ABC, you're going to notice a lot of similarities between what we're saying about this book and the actual TV shows. Remember, the book came out in 2002. ABC had the license for a long time, never used it, and then out of nowhere came Once Upon a Time.
My thing with Fables is, I'm not that big a fan of it. I feel like I need to be immersed in the story more. I do like the fact that it was a modern take on the fairy tales. Like, it was like, okay,
yeah,
this is the fairy tales. Yeah, in our world, they deal with real world problems. And that was cool. It's just I need to be built more into it.
So much on the concept. I mean, when the GOAT first, introduced me to it, he was like, it's like a, realistic take on fairy tales. I'm like fairy tales, like who?
Yeah,
like Big Bad Wolf and Little Red Riding Hood. And I was just like, eh. But then I read it, and it's so much more than just a modern interpretation. It's a continuation. These are literally the same characters
from the stories.
Fairy tales.
It's just they're in our world now, and they're today, and they've been alive for
forever,
hundreds of years,
as long as their stories are.
Right.
Yeah,
and
through the times, through the ages.
The general concept of the story is the fables, which are all the fairy tale characters, come from another world, and they pretty much have been pushed to our world, which they refer to as the mundane world,
by a common enemy,
called the adversary, who's pretty much like taken over and like wrecked their home world, and it's
whatever the fairy tale land is.
Yeah, and ruining with like an iron fist.
So they take over pretty much this whole neighborhood. We're in this city, which I think it's New York.
Yeah,
right,
it's New York. It's called Fabletown, New York.
Fabletown, New York. It's like a little cross section, and
like Chinatown,
it's funny, like
fairy tales.
You and me as humans, if we walk into this, we just magically kind of get turned around, or we just walk straight through, without even noticing. But all the characters live in these apartment buildings, and they live normal lives. So
they live normal lives, but each of the characters have kind of like a predetermined role. Bigsby Wolf is also known as the Big Bad Wolf, is the sheriff of Fabletown. He regulates all the fables, keeps them in line, makes sure all the problems get taken care of, so some of them are very underhanded.
Now you're reading him as a hero, but they always remind you that this is the Big Bad Wolf. All the other characters remind him times of like, well, back in your past you weren't so,
you weren't such a good guy.
You ate people.
I like the fact that they kind of crack on him about that sometimes. Like, they're looking like, oh, did you blow down any, straw houses? Or knock down any bricks?
And he huffs and puffs, but he is the law, and he's trying his best to just keep his cool and keep everyone safe and really redeem himself. It makes him a very interesting character.
And he also has characters like Prince Charming, who is
my favorite.
Prince Charming is a super handsome guy. He's rich, he's popular, and he kind of has, I'm not sure if it's an ability or just really he's just so charming.
He can suggest.
And my idea of Prince Charming is a jock who always got the pretty girl.
Yep.
Had a rich family.
Never had to work for anything, and then grew up and still never had to work for anything.
Still doesn't have to because he's
kind of a douche.
Inference. And when you're first introduced to him, he goes to a diner, he meets this the waitress. He
sweet talks her.
She takes him home. He sleeps with her. Does a good job of it. And
he blows her brains out.
Okay, again, this is a very adult book.
This is made by Vertigo.
Yeah, you gotta remember.
He sleeps with her. They wake up the next morning, and he's like, "Okay, so I live here now. You go ahead and go to work, and I'll just be here handling some business while I'm doing some stuff.
Also, can I get your credit card number?
You pay the bills.
Yeah, can I get your credit card number and stuff?" And she's just like, "Yeah, sure, I guess." And that's just what he does, and it was awesome.
And even
still a douche.
Even watching him interact like Big Bad Wolf with all the other characters, he was married to at one point in time Snow White, Cinderella, and
it's all the same Prince Charming.
Almost every princess from every fairy tale we've read as a child, he was like, yeah, I banged her, and I slept with her,
and then he slept around. They always got divorced, like real divorces.
Know me.
And And nobody really likes him. He's a skeevy dude. His family's rich and everything, but he's just an awful guy. But he's my favorite character.
Then it's like,
he's my favorite character.
It's like he has that ability that you can't hate him, but you know he's a douche. Like, you look at it, like, anytime he comes down, you're just like, oh, damn it. Okay.
But, there are also a lot of other characters who don't live exactly in Fabletown. They live on the farm.
The farm is kind of a
concentration camp.
I would see you guys say concentration camp.
Well, I know it's a harsh term, but a lot of times in the comic, it's used as a punishment.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: you don't look human enough to stay in my town. Therefore, we're going to put you on the farm. No. Yeah. It's not a bad thing. If you can just never interact with everyone else, and you can never leave.
Trouble, you get sent to the farm, but there are some characters who have to just live on this farm. One of which is the
Three Little Pigs.
One of the
three little pigs.
I think there's the last family member of the Three
If
Little
I believe so, Bigby's father also lives.
No, he does not live on the farm.
Or he just comes to the farm.
He just occasionally comes on, and that's a little bit
that's
the comic book.
Man,
like that. But also
like,
all the little
really?
sweet little animals that you've ever seen in every Disney movie, the little birds like that, they live on the farm.
Donkey from Shrek would be on the farm.
Bingo.
he can't be human, so therefore he has to stay on the farm.
And the farm has their own little community like that. And with Little Red Riding Hood, who is Cinderella's sister.
Yeah.
Like that.
Or the Red Rose.
Red Rose.
The Red Rose, yes. You know, she is the head of the farm. You know, she regulates the day-to-day duties like that. And Beauty and Beast, they kind of come. They kind of commute from the city to the farm.
Beauty and Beast. They're actually a blue collar, hardworking couple.
Right, and they're very real couple. They have
it's written so well. What was it, Jeff Willingham? Or?
Yeah.
Bill Willingham.
Bill Willingham does an amazing job of.
I understand. There's been like 10 artists and 10 writers on this whole.
Making the characters really, really supernatural, or keeping them in that fairy tale scope, but making them realistic and humanizing them. I really dig it.
Throughout their conversations, you can just tell it's like, okay, you deal with real world problems.
Yeah, it's very realistic.
It's like, oh, you can fly and breathe fire and do this, but you still pay rent at the end of the day.
Like that. Be sure to go check out the comic. It's still ongoing. It's still a fantastic read.
Dig through those bins.
Like that.
There's like 6 different miniseries tied into the comic.
There's 6 different miniseries, there's Peter and Max, which is about the Pied Piper, which is about Peter Piper and his wife Bo Peep, like that. There's Jack, Jack's Tales, which is Jack and the Beanstalk, and Jack and the Beanstalk. Now that's the douche.
He's a douchebag.
That's a true unlikable douchebag, but he's kind of like the likable loser to a certain degree. You also have Cinderella. Cinderella, has a whole. She has 3 one-shot series on her own.
She has 3, and I think 1 contains the Big Bad Wolf.
Yeah, 1 contains the Big Bad Wolf.
The actual Big Bad Wolf.
And
Big Bad Wolf.
small.
It's part mystery series. It's part just watching these people live their lives, but them being these larger than life characters. It's done on such a great scope and great scale with just great writing, fluid art, nothing too crazy here.
I have to put in another character though that y'all seem to be forgetting to talk about. Goldilocks, like nobody,
Goldilocks.
I don't want to spoil it.
I want you guys to check that.
Check that out.
Goldilocks is a surprise. Look for her. You're gonna be like, hey, leave that alone. Okay.
Check out the book. Go find it. Comixology app to go find some back issues and order them straight to your phone if possible.
Get an account.
DC, you might be able to order through Vertigo, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You should be able to order through them, their app.
They're in like the other
Go to your
section.
comic book shops, comicbookstorelocator.com. Find the nearest comic book shop near you. Support this craft.
And comicbook.com also helps you out. I know that sounds like a simple website, but
much
they
easier,
have all kinds of comic book news. Check out our Facebook page. I definitely love to learn stuff from them. You gotta look at it.
Also, feel free to comment down below. We want to hear what your thoughts are. If you have read Fables, itself, after you go to check it out, like I said, list your favorite moments, favorite characters. Also, be sure to check out the new game coming out by Telltale Games.
Telltale Games actually picked up the license, and they will be making a game at the end of the year. These are the people who brought you the Walking Dead game. The good one, not the one with the brothers.
Yeah,
but
I love the Walking Dead.
And this one is special because it actually, I said this in my my one shot before, which is going to be posted right here. I said this in my one shot before. They're actually using the characters from the books this time and their own little series. I don't know what it's going to be about, but I'm actually really excited about it.
I'm super excited.
I wonder if it's going to be episodic? Because
It
it
is
could
episodic.
do that.
It's episodic. It's
Oh,
episodic.
yes.
Same thing. All right, but thanks you guys.
Yep.
This is the GOAT, and I'm joined by.
And IBM. My fault. I ain't mean to cut off my
Yeah,
fellow aficionado.
And we are the Comic Book Aficionados. Catch you comic book nerds later.
Latest.
Peace.